suitable for them to attempt it or not. So hereby I welcome quant trainer Mr. Rahul Jain, who is an MBA Financial Management, has 8 years plus experience in education field and coached 1,000 plus students till now. I hereby extend my warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you,
Hope
ma'am.
the session would be really fruitful for our students. I also welcome verbal trainer Mr. Rohit Naik, who has done
Hmm.
BCom honors from DU, has 14 years plus experience in test prep industry. So hereby, sir, I hand over the platform to you, and I really wish that it is going to be a really fruitful session for the students as well. Thank you.
Right, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, good morning, everyone. I am Rohit, and I'll be taking your VRC section starting, and it will be a 20-minute session. And whatever questions you have, whatever queries you have, uh, in due course of. So just let me present my entire content, and after that, we'll give you small space in which you can ask the questions. Right. So please make sure that your mics are off, and if you've got any question, just raise your hand and we'll get back to you for the doubts, right? Okay. And we'll make sure that this is a fruitful endeavor for all of you. Okay. So this session, let me just start the timer. And just a moment, just a moment. Hmm. Okay. So this session is an orientation to CAT's VRC section. I will be taking this one. Rahul sir will be taking the quant part, and we'll try our best to explain how you are suited for CAT. If you are planning for taking CAT next year or next to next year, what exactly are the tools, strategies, skills, or anything that is required to crack this institute or in this exam, right? Okay. Now, this is the agenda for my session. It is that the first and pertinent question, why should we start now? Like if I believe that I'm going to take CAT in 2022, if I think that I'm going to take CAT in 2021, why should I start right now? Why can't I delay it for another year and all that? Then we'll have an overview of VRC section, like whatever has happened in the past number of years, or let's say past 3, 4 CAT, we'll take care of that one. Then we'll try to understand that if I'm going to appear for CAT, what exactly am I trying to aim? What exactly am I trying to get? Like अगर मुझे IIM की सीट चाहिए तो मुझे उसके लिए क्या चाहिए होगा? That's a pertinent question. Then we'll tell you how to prepare for CAT. We'll add how we can help you in that. What exactly is our motive? Or exactly is our strategy? How exactly we teach our students? And then to give you a hands-on experience of how to or what exactly or where and what and all the parts of questions, we'll give you some questions to solve right now, and we'll have an interactive session in that, so that you come to know that what exactly is CAT about, myths हैं वो सारी burst होंगी and all. And towards the end of my session, I'll give you a free vocabulary resource so that you can enhance it, because vocabulary, I believe, is one of the most feared section of CAT. कहा जाता है कि vocabulary difficult है, so we'll try to burst that myth also, right? Okay. Uh, Fine. So now, when I talk about the first and the most important question, why should we start now? देखो, when we look at CAT, it's not same as the other exams you might have taken. Like this quote very well summarizes the best, or the, let's say, the best conclusion that we can have, that the best time to start was yesterday and the next best time is today. Why it is this? Because cracking CAT is not same as passing college exams. College exams are different in the sense that you study for them, you have a defined pattern, you have, let's say, academic background, you have a predictability and all that. But in CAT, it is not same. CAT के अंदर you have more or less a dynamic factor which sets in. You do not know what is going to come in CAT. It can change any point of time, and it is a competitive exam which work very different from what college exams are. So that's one reason. And if I want to crack CAT, what exactly is supposed to be done? You're not supposed to cover only the syllabus part of it, because if I look at syllabus, you have vocabulary to be done, you've got reading comprehension to be done, some part of grammar will come, verbal reasoning will come, but सिर्फ syllabus खत्म करने से you will not be able to crack CAT. You have to understand that the major important part is the practice part of it. For example, if I look at reading comprehension skills, so reading comprehension skills require a lot of things. For example, if I look at speed, let me give you a small lowdown on what exactly do I mean by speed. So if I look at the speed part of it, if I look at the reading comprehension, which basically is nothing but a passage which you're supposed to read. We'll go through the entire format within a couple of minutes. So when I look at a passage, it will comprise some around 500 words. And in, let's say, 60 minutes का जो time period होता है, you get 5 passages. Fine. And if I look at that, if I multiply this with this, I get somewhere around 2,500. Maybe there are certain passages which are of 600 word length.
So the
So,
screen is just on the first slide. It says
okay,
cat orientation. It's not shifted to the next one.
just a moment, just a moment. What do I do? What do I do? Let me try again, ma'am. Okay. Is
Yes,
this
sir.
visible now, ma'am?
Yes,
Ah,
yes.
okay. Okay. So let me just reiterate what I went. I don't know. I mean, this is the first time that I'm using Teams, so somewhere around that. एक मिनट अभी भी visible है. Wait. Let me just. I think I pushed that alt tab. तो उससे कुछ गड़बड़ हुई है. Let me do it again. Okay. Okay. Is this visible now?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
हाँ, ठीक है. So, reiterating will be, this is the agenda for this session. We'll understand why we should start now. We'll give you an overview of VRC section, that is past 4 years or 3 years. Then we'll try to tell you what exactly we are aiming for CAT. कि अगर CAT को crack करना है, what exactly are we supposed to do in that. Then we'll tell you how to prepare for CAT. If you and we'll add, let's say, what we teach in our institution, how exactly we help you in that case. And then to give you a practical experience in what CAT is all about, we'll let you solve certain questions, not more than 4 or 5. That depends because the timing is like that one. And then we'll give you a free vocabulary resource, right? Okay. Now, uh, right. The first question, why start now? Dekho, as I already stated that when I look at the cracking of CAD, when I look at CAD, it is not same as cracking your exam or it is not same as passing your college exam. It's a very different thing altogether. Why it is different? Because you require lot of practical part in understanding various things which are part of your CAD. For example, if I look at passages, if I look at maths, if I look at DLR, so only syllabus completion is not your end goal. So when you look at the reading comprehension part of it, when I look at the passages, let me, so when I look at reading comprehension, this is basically you might have done in the past in school, which was called something called unseen passage. Fine. So these unseen passages come from different sources. For example, they may come from, we'll cover this pattern later on. So they may come from science, they may come from, let's say, technology, they may come from anywhere. And every passage is around 500 to 600 word. Or essay, you have somewhere around 5 passages to be attempted. Right. So if I'm looking at 500 to 600 words per passage and there are 5 passages, you will have 2500 words.
Sorry, so you're still you are on the second slide. Not on the first.
Okay.
They're explaining actually.
अब चेंज हुआ?
No, sir, it's still the second slide. So जब आप शेयर कर रहे हैं ना, तो जहाँ हाँ अब चेंज हो गया.
Let me explain through this very thing. इससे explain कर देता हूँ मैं अगर ये visible है मैम. Because I guess ये वाला visible है. All these.
Yes, sir. Third slide is visible. Fourth is visible. Yes, sir.
अच्छा तो इससे मैं explain कर देता हूँ. Get into the animation part of it. Let me try to give you the lowdown of it. अब देखो, the only part is that when I look at, there has to be a lot of ground to be covered beyond the syllabus. We have already covered this. Speed का जो मैं बोल रहा था, speed का ये है that you require somewhere around 500 words to be done in one passage, and you got 5 passages to be done. So there is somewhere around 2500 words to be read in 60 minutes. So you need to develop reading speed skills, which will not come overnight, which will not come in 1 month, which will not come in 2 months. They have to be around 4 to 5 months of constant practice जिससे आपकी speed बनने वाली है. right? Then you have vocabulary, which is a big, let's say, area which you need to cover. And then only speed is not to be there. People who have joined us, people who have already started preparing, if you know them, you can ask them that only speed doesn't matter. What matters is comprehension, like how the paragraph starts, how it ends, उसके बीच में क्या आता है, what exactly comes, what exactly doesn't come, क्या मुझे pick up करना है. So all of them cannot be learned in a theoretical aspect. We have to pick up what we call as the practical aspect of it. Major important part is that your competitors won't wait. Even if you wait, you think that, okay, fine, let's say start next year. Let me start within the next 6 months. Let me start within 1 year. As per CAT 21 or 22, your competitors might have already started. Remember, your competition is not Ludhiana, it is not Aurobindo, your own peers, it's not PCT, it is not PAU, it is not anywhere. It is the entire India. You have LSR, you have got SSC, you got, let's say, Sri Ram College, SRCC, you got, Narsi Munji coming out. So your competition is entire India. वो wait नहीं करने वाला है, so you should also not start. You should also not wait. You should start right now. It will take time for you to go through all of them, and it will take much more time to become perfect at it. And if I want to look at IIMs are the aim. अगर IIM में जाना है, you need to have a very good score. You need to have very good percentile to crack that, right? Okay. This is visible, right? Okay. Okay. So now this is the VARC syllabus for the past number of years, and for the able future it will be there. अब इसमें क्या होता है? You got 60 minutes as is visible on the screen, and you got 34 questions to be done. Now in these 34 questions, there are two parts. That is why it is called VA plus RC or VARC. VA में क्या आता है? You got questions such as parajumbles. You got questions such as summary based question out of context. So what is parajumble? It is nothing but you got 4 or 5 lines, and they are to be arranged in the serial order according to the idea, how they start, how that idea ends. Then you got summary questions, in which you need to read one paragraph and then pick up an answer choice which picks up the gist or picks up the main idea of that particular passage. उसको हम summary कहते हैं. Then you have out of context question. It is same as parajumble. Now what happens parajumble is you arrange a entire paragraph into serial order. In out of context, you are supposed to take out one sentence which doesn't fit into that idea, which disrupts that idea, right? And then grammar is part of other management entrance tests. Like you do not prepare for CAT. Very simply, it is not only CAT that you prepare when you want to get into an MBA. You prepare for other exams as well. For example, SNAP hai, NMAT hai, and all that. So in that case, grammar is there, but in CAT, it is not asked directly. At least for past 3-4 years, it has not been asked. Then vocabulary, it is not asked directly, but it helps you to become good at vocabulary because passages are dependent upon that, because your reading skills are dependent upon that, right? And then there are two things you might be seeing. You have got a theta and you got MCQ. These two abbreviations are there. Let me explain what they are. So what happens is every CAT has got two different set of questions depending upon the, let's say, scoring pattern. So if you look at the bottom of the screen, you got 3 marks for correct and -1 for incorrect if it's a multiple choice question. Like summary question will have 4 options given to you. You need to select one of the options. If you get one of that option or that answer correct, you get 3 marks. You get that answer wrong, you are penalized 1 mark, right? But in theta, you do not get any answer choice. You have to fill your own answer choice. Like there will be box given to you, rectangular box. उसमें आपने अपना, you need to fill in the answer. We'll show you if I'm able to go through this presentation if this happens. Will give you the entire way that theta happens. अब theta का फायदा ये होता है, it doesn't have negative marking, right? But the problem with parajumble is that you have 4, let's say, options or 4 sentences. So you got, let's say, around 24 combination that you can write down. Fine. Now a student will do what? He will say, oh, I got a theta question, parajumble I have done, but I'm not that good at parajumble. But there is no negative marking, so I should go for parajumble question. Summary is better, but it has got a negative marking. So what will happen is the student will be, let's say, manipulated into getting into theta question because it doesn't have negative marking. And what he will waste is the time, right? Because theta question may take more time because parajumble may options and combination will be more. So when you look at CAT, it is not only about your knowledge, it's about how you respond to that paper, right? Like in 5 minutes, am I able to judge whether a paragraph has to be done? In 2 minutes, am I supposed to find out whether I'm supposed to do, or am I supposed to leave a maths question or not? So CAT is not only about your intelligence, it's about emotional quotient as well. right? Then you have reading comprehension. This is passages, unseen passage aate hain. So you got 5 passages in different combination. 4 passages will be long, like 500 to 600 word. Each will comprise 5 questions. And same, they will be MCQ based. So you got 3 marks for correct and -1 for wrong. And one passage will be a short passage, which will be 400 or 350 to 400 word long. And look at the topics. There will be different topics. You will have topic from business. For example, new technology has come in terms of new strategy has come in terms of business, like lean manufacturing or agile and all that one. Then you will have economics, or economics will be there. For example, how the world is now operating. You have globalization, you got deglobalization. So uske ऊपर topic आ जाएंगे. Science and technology. Again, one passage that I remember is that they talked about internal combustion engine. कैसा है कैसा नहीं है. Oh, my video is off. Okay, so how let's say internal combustion engine is there, how it is going to revolutionize the automobile industry, electric vehicles and all. Art and literature, they will give you passage on Gothic architecture, or they will give you a passage on, like, there is a temple, it was created in 18th century, तो उसका style ऐसा है. Then philosophy will be there. So philosophy will be like, we are humans, so we tend to talk about more rage. Should we talk about rage or not? Sociology will be there. So sociology will be all about that, how creative a society is, whether it nurtures creativity, should colleges be there, and all that. Psychology will be there. Like last year, what happened, they gave a passage which was combination of economics and psychology. So they said that today we have got devices which you can wear and you can see, and they can capture how good you are feeling or how bad you are feeling, and the data will go to the company and they will try to manipulate you, something like that. Then politics, like, Joe Biden, is he good, is he going to be a good president, is he not going to be a president, what all. And then humanities and all. Right. Now, a pertinent question which you might be thinking, ये तो मैंने करा नहीं, I'm not science from the student, I'm not an art literature student, I don't like psychology, I hate politics. What do I do? My suggestion, start reading widely. Pick up news articles from different papers. For example, Scientific American is there for science and technology. AL Daily is there for art and literature. Then you got New York Times, you got Economic Times, you got, let's say, a Smithsonian mag and all that. So moment cat comes, it doesn't ask you that, you tell me what kind of passage you want me to offer to you. It will give you every kind of passage. So बगैर इसके कि मैं उस टाइम पे क्या करूंगा, what will I do, क्या हो जाएगा अगर philosophy आ जाएगी, you start preparing today. That's why starting for CAT 2022 or 2021 and 2020 makes sense because of this. I come from a very different background. My background is computer science. I taught computer science for 10 years. When I entered CAT, it was like, ye kya hai? Why am I supposed to read philosophy? Fine. So you are supposed to diversify your reading. Jitna diverse karoge, utna it will become more comfortable for you to read a passage and then comprehend that passage. That's why start early and then, let's say, become good at whatever it is. Then you got a time limit of 60 minutes with respect to uh, the the section of VRC. Now, where do you need to be is okay. So where do you need to be is what exactly am I aiming at? So let me try to show you this. Yeah. Is this visible? Hello?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Right. So when you look at CAT 2019 and when we look at scores and percentile, so percentile is a different thing than score. So percentile is, in very simple terms, like Rahul sir will be better able to tell you the mathematical equation of it. Percentile का हमारे लिए ये है, the higher the percentile, the better are my chances to get into a top B school. Simple as that. For me, a non-math student, this is what I understand from it. So now, if you want to get into an IM, this is the minimum that you need to crack. Like, this is the minimum in all the 3 sections you need to get a call from any institution or any IM institution. Okay. अब इसमें जाने का तरीका क्या होता है? When you start preparing, you will start, let's say these are like 34 marks are there into 3. So this is 102. So out of 102, these are the scores and these are the relevant percentiles which are there. Now the fun fact of it, when you look at 85 percentile, there are a lot of colleges which open up at 85 percentile, which are let's say, supposed to be good colleges. And even if you look at IIMs, तो IIM में जाने के लिए out of 102 you do not require 70% marks, you do not require 80% marks. How many marks, how much marks do you require? 64% marks, है ना? Now if you look at CAT, if you fear CAT कि CAT में बहुत पढ़ना पड़ता है, बहुत ज्यादा difficult है, ये ऐसा कुछ नहीं है इसके अंदर. See, even if you want to get into a good IIM, let's say new IIMs में अगर आप जाना चाहते हो तो 95 परसेंटाइल पे आने के लिए आपको 102 में से कितने मार्क्स चाहिए? आपको 49 मार्क्स चाहिए, which is barely, I guess, 45% of it. So 45% मार्क्स से आपको बेबी IIM से कॉल आ सकती है. There is no other institution, there is no other paper in the entire country which gives you कि भैया 45% पे मैं तुझे एक न्यू IIM में भेज सकता हूँ, right? So there is no way that you should be scared of CAT. Your scores will improve gradually. So इसके लिए आपको क्या चाहिए? ये जो नीचे लिखा हुआ, you need to require consistency, consistent approach चाहिए. ये नहीं कि हमने, let's say my exams are next week, I am going to start this week because this is how it happens in college studies. नहीं, इसको रोज करो. So this is the scoring pattern that you need to get into. So आप start करोगे, when you start, let's say in CAT आपने अगर 2021 के लिए start करना है and you start preparing with us or you start preparing for CAT right now, within some couple of months when you are taking tests, maybe you are able to score 30 marks. That is, out of 34 questions, if I want to score 10, if I want to score 30 marks, I need to do only 10 questions correctly. Right, I guess I will be somewhat extending this one because थोड़ा बहुत वो था. So 10 to 12 questions अगर आप कर लेते हो 34 में से, you started with 80 percentile. And then if you look at the jump is like this, 5 10 question 10 marks का jump है. So 10 to 12 से start करोगे, then you will get into 14 to 13 to 14 questions that will give you this kind of mark. Then you will get into 15 to 16 questions which will give you 95 percentile. And then to score 34 or to score 64 question out of 34 question, I guess you require how many? Only, let's say, 25 questions to be done. 25 questions out of 34, not a bad deal altogether. So that is what we need to understand. CAT is not difficult. It is not a rocket science. It requires consistency. It requires strong conceptual knowledge. It requires, let's say, an emotional neutrality, what I say. Now, is this visible? Yeah, okay. Now, when I look at this equation that I'm not good at VA, it should be that you're not good at VA, or it should be I'm not good at VA right now. That is what you need to understand. Visible है ना सही? हाँ. So when I look at quant, when I look at DLR, when I look at VA, do not try to understand कि मेरा को VA नहीं आता है, मुझे quant नहीं आता है. You simply change it to something that you're not good at VA yet. Consistency है, practice चाहिए. Now what to do in that? You need to, let's say, learn how to prepare for CAT. Now, how to prepare for CAT? One, ensure that you develop a strong base and strong concept. For example,
Sir,
if you
slide number 5 is visible.
at 5, okay. I guess मैं ऐसे कर सकता हूँ. Is this visible, ma'am? How to prepare for CAT?
Yes, sir, it's visible now.
So I'll do one thing. I'll just switch off, and then my laptop is quite old, so maybe it is not able to do that. So how to prepare for CAT? You need to ensure that you develop strong base, a very strong base for everything. For example, अगर RC है, you need to understand how to read RC perfectly, how to read RC strongly, how to pick up keywords, what exactly is a keyword analysis, how to understand how IDF flows from paragraph 1 to paragraph 2. If you're preparing for quant, you need to ensure that you learn all the formula. You learn all the, let's say, the multiplication table or the square root and the under root and all that table. So your concept have to be strong. Like when you want to erect a building of 14 floors, you have to build a very strong foundation to erect that building of 14 floors. If the foundation is not deep, then the building may fall. It will be subject to earthquakes. It will be prone to damages from that one. So concept strong. Once your concepts are strong, your speed will develop. So first stage is accuracy. इसके ऊपर focus करो. Then the stage is speed. Then there will be speed plus accuracy. Right. So this is the more important part of your CAT preparation. Then develop good comprehension, reasoning and logical skills. Concept कर लिया. How to apply those concepts? If I have learned how to understand passage, I need to do some 2 or 3 passages daily to become good at comprehension. Reasoning, you learned how to understand a DI question, you know how to understand an LR question, implement करिए इसको. Try to develop how the things are there, how the things are not there, how one part links to the other part. This is all aptitude. This is the aptitude part of it. This is your knowledge. This is the aptitude. Then you have the more important part, that is good at taking tests. CAT does not bother whether you are an English, let's say PhD or a maths PhD. It simply gives you a small funda. It says, I will test you on your managerial skills. How does I test your managerial skills? I will give you 34 questions in 60 minutes. It is your managerial skill. You need to find out कि 34 questions में से how many questions you are supposed to do to get 60 marks to get into an IIM. So that requires test taking skills. Like 60 minutes के अंदर I ask you, or let's say I ask you to choose 3 passages out of 5 passages. So do I go by that? Acha, this is a commerce passage. This is an economics passage. I will do that because I'm from commerce background, and I'm from science. I'm not from science background, so I will not do science. Now, what will happen if science is easy and commerce is hard? This happens. People get disoriented because of that. Maths के अंदर there are certain questions which are easier normally, but in CAT they are tough. In normal way, when you're preparing, those questions are, some sections or some topics are tough, but in CAT they are easy. Like I don't know, Rahul sir will correct it later on obviously. Like functions नाम के topic आता है. Functions का जो question होता है, normally people are scared of it. So what if CAT throws in easy question in function? आप लोग करोगे नहीं क्योंकि पहले कभी हुआ नहीं, तो हुआ तो कहाँ पे कर लूंगा, and then you realize यार ये तो आसान था. Same thing. So this is what test taking skills are all about. It's not only about cramming, it's not only about recording words or cramming words, it's not about learning tables and learning square roots and all. It's how you implement those test taking skills which will matter. और उसके लिए क्या चाहिए? Practice. So practice should not be that once you're motivated, I will do 5 hours of practice, 6 hours of practice one day, second day I will not do anything. उससे कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. मैं भी जिम जाता था, and I used to go gym once in a week or twice in a week, and I used to do every exercise there. At the end, it didn't matter because I was not consistent in that. Simple, right? Okay. Now, how do we help in that case? This is the learn cycle that you should employ. This is an IMS learn cycle which we employ and which we tell our students to do. So we have a concept video which a student is supposed to learn before he comes to the class. Concept video will erase, like there are a lot of you who will not be, let's say, comfortable with maths of 10th or maybe 11th or maybe anything. Maths एक mainly जैसे phobia है, तो उस phobia को खत्म करने के लिए you need to watch the concept video, which may be a 1 minute to 3 hour long video, ताकि आपका foundation बन जाए. So this is the foundation of your class. ये पढ़ो, देखो how the teacher teaches you. Then the theory and solve example from books आप करो. That is the second stage that you need to go through whenever you prepare for CAT. This is what we ensure. Every class we check करा है नहीं करा है. Theory and solve example is there, and then you attend the class. So class will be like on the digital platform right now. After a certain time, it will be physical, right? So in that case, we'll go through the concept which will be enhanced because you have done these two things. तो इससे आपकी जो क्लास है उसकी रिटेंशन, उसका जो ग्रास्पिंग है, your grasping power, and the connect with the teacher becomes better, right? And then once a class is done, you revise the concept, solve the book exercises which we give to you, or let's say when you get any, let's say, book for CAT, तो concept revise करो. Psychology says that whatever you do within 4 to 6 hours of class, अगर आप उसको रिवाइज कर लेते हो तो वो ज्यादा रिटेन हो जाती है. रिवाइज करो. अगेन द पॉइंट बीइंग सॉल्व द क्वेश्चंस. टीचर ने क्लास में करा दिया, दैट इज नॉट इनफ. इट इज देयर फॉर कॉलेज एग्जाम्स आल्सो, इट इज देयर फॉर कॉलेज आल्सो. सो टीचर ने आपको बैलेंस शीट कराने सिखा दी, आपने कहा अच्छा जी बहुत अच्छी बैलेंस शीट है, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू डू इट फॉर नेक्स्ट डे, एंड देन व्हेन द रियलिटी डॉन्स ऑन इन द टेस्ट की बैलेंस शीट कैसे बनती है वो आप नहीं बना पाओगे. So solve the book exercise, solve the portal exercise also. We give you, the portal is nothing but, let's say, an online space that we give you to test or to solve the questions. So this is the cycle which IMS ensures. This is our advantage, and this is what has made a lot of students, let's say around, this is every year we send at least 5 to 6 students to IMS, at least that. आपके कॉलेज के बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स गए हैं, and this is our strength. This is how we go ahead. Okay, now so Everything is clear till now? Any question? Anyone? Let me check. Okay. Okay. So now let us get into the practical aspect of it. Let us get into the wait a minute. Let me switch on the screen, then I'll show you this one. Okay. Ma'am, how do I know how the students have answered this question? Like, this is what I want them to answer. तो इसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा?
स्टूडेंट्स कैन राइट इन द चैट बॉक्स, और जो यहाँ पर एक विंडो बनी हुई है जहाँ पे शो कॉन्वर्सेशन आता है, जब आप उस पर क्लिक करेंगे तो चैट बॉक्स ओपन हो जाएगा. यू कैन सी फ्रॉम देयर. Whenever a student is writing in chat box, वहाँ पे orange dot visible होगा. Show conversation.
Okay.
Now click slideshow mode. So the answers are already visible.
Oh, okay. एक मिनट से So if I wait. अभी कौन से अभी तो ये देख रहे हैं सर द डू नॉट गेट स्टक इन द concepts. Is this visible?
Yes, sir, but not in the slideshow.
हाँ स्लाइड शो नहीं अभी मैं जानबूझ के दिखाया. ओके बिकॉज आप स्लाइड शो दिख रहा है.
It's still not slideshow.
Throughout your presentation, slideshow कहीं भी नहीं आया. It's in the view
अच्छा.
form, like जो PPT form होता है.
Okay. चलो कोई ना. I'll do one thing. I'll erase the answers. Just give me a moment. ठीक है अब हो गया. Is this visible now? इसको थोड़ा बड़ा कर देते हैं. The question one, right?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
हाँ. So now students just answer this question. Give you 2 minutes to do that. After that, we'll got 3-4 questions more, and then we'll switch over to math section. And I'm not able to see the chat. Ma'am, just see if I'm not able to see the chat somehow. तो जरा बता दीजिएगा the answer students answer.
I'll see the chat
Sure.
and answer.
So students, you get maximum 2 minutes to solve this question. Please go through the directions. आपने क्या करना है? This Fengumi जो word है, it is an absurd word. It doesn't exist. So instead of let's say this word, you need to find the correct word. अब उसके लिए आपको context pick up करना पड़ेगा. So find the context and see how it happens. Or what the answer is.
Students, you can write the answers in chat box.
One minute left.
So one of the answer is rude, Ishika Mittal.
No. That's not the answer. Rude is not the answer. What context is this in? अब पता नहीं. This is the देखो. I'll explain this. Now the context is. अच्छा, now this is blinking. Okay.
The writing terse as the answer.
हाँ, ठीक है. Terse is the answer. Why terse is the answer? It says there is a most blank diplomatic record on note or diplomatic note on record. When Philip of M wrote to the Spartans, if he came within their borders, he would not leave one stone. They wrote back the one word. अब इसका focus है one word if. So if I pick up this sentence, this is the essence of the sentence. Nowhere they say कि they replied very horribly, they replied very without any frills. They did not reply with a humorous tone. Humorous होता तो witty आता. Now the focus is one word. If the focus is one word, it will be terse. Correct. So whoever gave the answer terse, very good. You cracked one of the questions of cat. Good. Next. So this is basically a parajumble question. आपने क्या करना है? You are supposed to arrange these sentences in the correct order. Like they're not in the correct order. They are supposed to be arranged in the correct order. And this is Kita. Like this was MCQ. So you got 4 options, and if you get one, if you get this answer correct, you get 3 marks. If you get this answer wrong, you get -1. This is Kita. Like there will be box like this given to you. There will be a dial pad, and in that dial pad you can type, or you can click, and you can enter the letters. So I'll give you 2 minutes to read this sentence, try to find what the correct order is, and then type that in the chat window. And then eventually I will give you the answer to this one. Find out how the idea starts, find out how it goes ahead and all that.
So one of the student has replied 4231, another 4213.
Okay, okay, okay,
423.
okay, okay. Mohak. Okay, Ishita. Okay, okay. Mandeep. Okay. Achha. Okay. 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 Right. Okay. Okay. So the correct answer is 4213. How? Look at it. It started with a lump on Kathy Perkins' index finger. Something started. So this is the idea that there was a disease, there was something which happened to somebody's index finger. Now, if I look at 2, the violet player did not know what it was. So what are they talking about? They're talking about the lump, because it's a very undefined disease out there. Lump कुछ भी हो सकता है. Not it a general practitioner, GP is general practitioner. So 4-2 will go together, because if I pick up one eventual diagnosis, if I go from 4 to 1, then if I say that eventual diagnosis was skin cancer, I cannot come to 2, because then they will know what it is, right? So 4 ke baad 2, then when they did not know it, they will do a diagnosis, they will treat, they will check it. So that's why the word eventual diagnosis, after these two things, the eventual diagnosis was skin cancer, and after treatment all seemed well. Now the catch word is seemed. लगा कि वो चला गया है, लगा कि that it has been solved. Then it comes to third. Why? Because then a routine, after what? After that treatment after treatment went well, after everything seemed well, a routine scan, because this will not be a routine scan, this will be a diagnostic scan. That is also what we can understand. So diagnose हुआ, उसके बाद routine scan आया, and then another catch word, it had come back. What had come back? That cancer, and spread to the lungs. So that's why 4213 would be the answer to this one. So good. Whoever has answered the question very, very well, very good. Okay, this is this is what we call as critical reasoning. So it is not directly asked in CAT these days. It is part of reading comprehension. So what you are supposed to pick up is you're supposed to solve this question based on your understanding of this passage. So again, try to read this passage, understand the essence of it, understand the keywords of it like you did right now, and then give the answer in next 2 minutes. Do that. 3. How can 3 be the answer? Just explain, just type your explanation, because you know you get the answer, you need to know why the answer is there. Fifth. No, fifth is also not the answer. So I'll try to explain it in your parlance. Everyone understand what's a market share? Yes. What is a market share? Type it in the chat window. Let me see. What is market share? Okay. In simple parlance, market share is how many customers I have. Like there are 100 customers in the market for, let's say, mobile phone, and 35 people buy my phone, 35 people buy somebody else's phone, and rest of them are somewhere there. So my market share is 35% of the entire market of mobile phones, right? अभी कहता क्या है? It says there is relatively little room for growth in overall corporate market, which is tied to the size of population. So you cannot increase the market size because the population is, let's say, limited, or the market size is limited related to the population. Most who purchase carpet do only twice or once. Fine, so you cannot even increase the number of people buying the carpet. Pehle they do that in 20s or 30s, and then they perhaps do that in 50s or 60s. That's why. So my constraint is that I cannot grow my overall carpet market because people purchase them only once or twice, and the market size is limited in this case. Thus, as a population ages, because why does it say thus as a population ages? Because once they have already purchased, perhaps they will not buy it again. So thus, as the population ages, companies producing carpet will be able to gain market share in the carpet market only through purchasing competitors and not through marketing. अब इसका जो claim है, इसका claim ये है that boss, you cannot grow your number of customers because they do this purchase only once or twice, one when they are, let's say, young, and when they are old. Now, because the population is becoming old, you want to gain market share. So the only way through is through purchasing competitor. Because if I purchase competitor, I will gain their market share also. तो उसी तरीके से मैं market share बढ़ा सकता हूँ. I cannot do it through aggressive marketing, or I cannot maybe reduce prices, maybe anything like that. अभी क्वेश्चन कहता है which of the following casts most doubt on the conclusion above. So basically they are asking me to say no, there may be another way to increase a market share, and it is not only through purchasing competitors that the market share can increase. ठीक है. अब फर्स्ट क्या कहता है? 2 or 3 mergers in the industry in the last 10 years led to decline in profits and revenues for the newly merged company. Now, why did this happen? Why did the decline in profits happen? Is it only because of merging? No, right? ऐसे तो, like I always take a ridiculous example in my class. Why do people get divorced? Because they marry, right? अनमैरिड बंदों का डिवोर्स नहीं होता है, ऐसे मैरिड बंदों का डिवोर्स होता है. तो डिवोर्स का सबसे बड़ा रीजन क्या है? मैरिज है. Does it sound nice? Does it sound logical? No, it doesn't sound logical. So I do not know whether the decline in the profits and revenue happened because of merging. Second, ये profit और revenue की बात करें, ये market share की बात नहीं कर रहे. In our CAD world, we call it an alien option because it doesn't capture market share. That is a major key point of the passage. तो one नहीं हो सकता. Most of the major carpet producer market are the flooring as well. So what do I do with that? Do I increase market share because of it? Do I reduce the market share? I don't know. Now, next question, next option, which people said, fifth, carpet market is unlike most market, and the customers are becoming increasingly resistant to new patterns and styles. So if they're becoming increasingly resistant to new pattern and style, that means the only way I can increase my market share is what? Through purchasing customers or purchasing my competitors, right? So ये एक तरह से strengthen कर रहा है. Now, fourth, second, we already explained, Rishabh, that we cannot talk about things other than market share. We cannot talk about things other than carpet manufacturing. They are saying floor covering है. मुझे floor covering पे नहीं जाना है. I need to go to market share of carpet. Look at fourth. Price reduction achieved by cost cutting in production is causing other producers to leave the market altogether. So if they're able to leave the market, if I'm making them leave the market, what is happening? Will my market share increase? Yes. So fourth shows that if this is true, then it is not only through purchasing customer competitors that the market share can increase, it can be increased by this part as well. So that's why fourth is the answer to this one and not some other part. Is this clear with all? So we were supposed to have one more or two more, but we need to skip that because abhi Rahul sir ne bhi maths ka karwana and we already are running late. So I'll come to one small part in which you can improve your vocabulary. So this is the, let's say, I don't know, let me put that in the chat window as well so that you can, copy paste it. So this is a web space in which we have put our presentation. देखो अगर मैं word याद करना चाहता हूँ, word learn करना चाहता हूँ, the best way to learn words for my cat, for my any exam which is out there is to attach that word with something which I can attach, you can associate. For example, जिसको हम visible association कहते हैं या हम shortcut कहते हैं, कुछ भी कहते हैं. So now if I want to get to this vocabulary, I have posted some 17 presentations with visual vocabulary content. Like अब जैसे ये word है cogent, right? So cogent में उसने यहाँ पे बोला that one person is standing on the dais and saying something and others are saying, I don't know, I'll try to increase this size of the, ये देखो, it says I think therefore I am. So other people are saying Preeti it must be, oh Botkins astounding. So cogent होता है convincing gent. So convincing gent क्या करेगा, आपको एक logical convincing answer provide करेगा, logical convincing कोई भी चीज explanation provide करेगा. So cogent का मतलब क्या है, logical and convincing. The photograph is like this. और for example अगर हम behemoth की बात करते हैं, like I can say behemoth is great खली, बहुत बड़ा बंदा है, बहुत ही बड़ा monster है, तो behemoth is like भीम की तरह बंदा. So this is the free vocabulary resource which you can all use and increase your vocabulary. And with that, if you got any doubts with respect to VARC, please ask me. This is done from my end. This was what I wanted to share with you. I hope I was able to clarify a lot of things in terms of VARC. कुछ आपके myths burst होंगे, कुछ आपको पता चला होगा कि reality में क्या है. So I'm open to question for 2-3 minutes. After that, we'll hand over the dais to Rahul sir. So please go ahead and ask me anything. I'm here.
Students, if you have any queries, you can ask or you can either write in the chat box as well.
No query? Okay. So with that, we'll hand over the mic to Rahul sir. And Rahul sir, just please, we welcome you. And I'll just mute my mic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay. So my name is Rahul. Ma'am Isha ma'am already introduced me. So what we're going to do is let's start with my presentation.
राहुल सर वॉइस थोड़ी कम है आपकी.
वॉइस कम है सर, एक मिनट में क्लोज आके बात करता हूँ.
अभी थोड़ी बेटर हो गई.
यस. Okay, I'm trying to open my presentation but clicking on it, it's not opening.
So you can click on that rectangle with an arrow to show the presentation.
Yes, I'm doing it and it's showing the windows, but when I'm clicking on the window, it's not opening.
So try logging in once again. एक बार मीटिंग एग्जिट करके फिर से लॉग इन करके ट्राई कर लीजिए. Maybe it some हाँ.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Is the screen visible now?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. I hope I'm in the slideshow form.
Yes, sir, it's in slideshow form.
Okay. So Rohit sir already discussed many things. So with the time constraint and the things I need to cover, I'm going to uh, skip some of the things. So welcome. Agenda मेरा वही similar है. My MBA now that have already been shared with you with the by Rohit sir, and then we'll discuss about somewhat about what QA/DLR is all about. What are the prerequisites for CAT, and few of some questions related to QA/DLR. So why MBA now already been shared with by Rohit sir. One thing I like to add is that इस time पे job crunch है, right? Economy में employment की कमी है. So what you can do is if you go for an MBA now or a year later, then you can write out that recession, or you can say write out that phase जिसमें jobs की कमी है. तो better opportunity आएगी अगर आप 2-3 years के बाद which always happens after a recession, and this is no less, corona was not no less than a recession. So that is a reason that you should start now and go for an MBA if you're really interested in MBA course. And these are the various exams uh, related to MBA. Apart from CAT, there are some kittens, that is NMAT, IFT, SNAP, SAT, CMAT, which uh, supposed to happen during this December, November, third week of Sunday, and so on. So not only CAT has various top B schools, but there are other kittens, other exams like IFT, SNAP, Symbiosis के लिए, and MAT, Nasi Munji Mumbai के लिए, which are the top again top B schools of India. So उसमें भी admission के लिए that will be very helpful. So if you are preparing for CAT, these KIT and these various other exams, उसका almost 70 to 80% cover हो जाता है. What you left with only 10 to 20%, which again we can cover in the later stage. We have special courses for that if you're targeting some special exams like Nasi Mundi, SNAP, etc. Okay, then moving ahead. So all the verbal section have already been discussed with you. This is the overview of CAT 2019. Last year का जो CAT exam pattern था. इस year थोड़ा change है कोविड के कारण, but most likely 3-4 years से यही रहा है, तो we are hoping कि आगे भी यही रहेगा. In case there will be some changes, तो वो हम साथ साथ में उस चीज़ों को मतलब उस patterns को we're going to discuss and we're going to cover. So there were, as already discussed, 24 RC questions and 10 verbal ability के questions थे. When it comes to DI and quant, data interpretation, logical reasoning has 32 questions. Again, 1 hour available. You can switch among the sections, so 1 hour. I always say CAT is 3 sections, 3 consecutive sections, rather than in this order, rather than a complete 3 hours exam. So DILR पहले आपको verbal आएगा 1 hour, then DIL, and then quant. This is in this order, particularly from last. तो इसमें कुछ 16 DI के questions होंगे, data interpretation, and 16 LR, logical reasoning. This is the toughest section as considered. Why I'm saying so? That will I show you in the next slide. Why I'm saying ki DI is as comparative to verbal and quantitative ability is the toughest section of, especially when it comes to last 2-3 years. And then quantitative ability again 1 hour milega. So you have again subtopics in quant, that is numbers में HCF LCM से लेके numbers की जो भी properties remainder तक everything उस पे 4 questions होंगे. Arithmetic, which will have percentages, ratio proportions, time speed distance, time and work, उससे related 13 questions हैं. Then algebra, from the functions to basic equations, and then logarithms, everything inclusive will have approximately 6 questions उसका weightage है out of 34. And then geometry, इसमें like again from lines, angles, circles, triangle, everything would be covered. So as you can say, the syllabus is very comprehensive when it comes to quantitative ability. Although many of the things you have already covered in your junior classes, but usko padhe hue bhi time ho gaya. Agree? So a early start will help you to form a base. And definitely अगर आपका base strong होगा तो questions की जो आप कह सकते अगर उसमें कुछ चेंजेस आते हैं या कुछ अपग्रेडेशन आती है या लेवल ऑफ डिफिकल्टी वेरी करती है तो उसको आप क्या कहते हैं उस टाइम पे कॉम्प्रीहेंड कर पाओगे एंड देन यू एबल टू सॉल्व. ठीक है. एंड देन मॉडर्न मैथ्स में वी हैव परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन प्रोबेबिलिटी अ स्लाइट बेसिक लेवल वेन डायग्राम क्वेश्चंस एंड अदर थिंग्स. सो दिस इज द composition on the larger scale. We will further subdivide it. Then a calculator available it was available. This time also it is available from 3-4 years. It is available because the purpose of the examiner is not to check how good you are as a calculator or how good you are in calculations. The purpose is entirely your analytical skills, your logical skills. And वो हम अभी एक दो क्वेश्चंस देखेंगे तो उसमें आपको समझ भी आएगा. Then we have marking scheme +3 -1 and this is happening from again 3-4 years. So most likely यही रहेगा. तो +3 मिलता है -1 मिलता है except for the theta question. Theta is type in the answer. So box Rohit sir have already discussed. Type in apart from MCQs multiple choice questions there are theta questions. Type in the answer. उसमें बॉक्स होगा उसमें नेगेटिव नहीं होता लेकिन पॉजिटिव तब मिलेगा अगर वो करेक्ट होगा. राइट. एंड यस दीज आर स्लाइटली समटाइम्स टाइम कंज्यूमिंग and misleading. So you have to figure out that whether you're going to attempt it or not. ठीक है वो प्रैक्टिस बताएगी. And then total overall 100 questions, 300 marks, 3 hours. Fine. Anybody having any query related to the CAT structure or related to any topic? So else I move ahead. Okay, moving. So this is the score versus percentile chart that verbal part had already been shared by Rohit sir. This is LRDI part and quant part. So if you see the quant, why I said that LRDI is the toughest one. If you see at a low score also you are getting a good percentile comparative to the other two sections. So if let's suppose I have to score 95 percentile, at 39 score in LRDI will give me in the 95 percentile. When it comes to as compared to when VRC and quant 49 and 44 पे आपको 95 percentile आ रहा है लेकिन DILR में 39 पे ही आ रहा है. 39 means that if you are getting a 3 marks for each correct, that means you have to attempt 13 questions. 13 into 39, and that too 13 means that means you have to attempt out of the 8 into 4 32 questions. Out of the 8 sets you have to attempt only 3 to 4 sets. That means less than 50%. So that shows how the LRDI is one of the toughest section. और अगर वो practice ना की हो, अच्छी thoroughly practice ना की हो base से, so वो last 3-4 months में या 6 months में cover करना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. ठीक है. हाँ अगर base strong ना हो तो that's why that is the reason. ठीक है. And if you are again targeting IIMs and the stuff, the top P schools हैं, तो yes you have to reach here because if you are competing with the colleges जो कि सिम्बोसिस एनमैट के स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो ग्रेजुएट्स हैं वहाँ से या ऑलरेडी क्या कहते हैं IIM इंदौर में पढ़ रहे हैं मतलब हम कंपेयर करें और बिंदु कॉलेज को एज कम्पेयर टू द नेशनल लेवल जो टॉप के कॉलेजेस हैं जो रोहित सर ने भी डिस्कस किया है. ठीक है. सो वी आर ऑलरेडी स्लाइटली बिहाइंड द लाइन. टू कोप अप विद दैट वी नीड अ गुड कैट स्कोर. अगर मुझे IIMs एज अ माई टारगेट है या टॉप बी स्कूल्स FMS MDI गुड़गांव अगर मैं टॉप बी स्कूल टारगेट है एंड टू कवर दैट gap you have to prepare well, very well. ठीक है. And this was a 2018 almost similar ही है. अगर आप देखोगे last 2-3 years में थोड़ा सा standardization हुआ है. Not when it comes to the aptitude asking questions, but when it comes to the structure. ठीक है. Unpredictability अभी भी है. CAT में क्या आ सकता है क्या नहीं आ सकता उसको हमेशा unpredictable रहा है. लेकिन हाँ थोड़ा standardize हुआ है structure. सो अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए मॉक्स देने के लिए थोड़ी सी चीज़ें बैलेंस्ड हुई हैं वेल मैनेज हुई हैं एंड वी गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट दैट मोर while our preparation. Moving ahead, prerequisite, one of the things reading speed तो already have been talked about, and then उसके अलावा to improve your calculations, try calculating the things on your own rather than using calculator. Like for example, if I say, uh, if you are going at a restaurant, okay, or you going to a grocery store, you are buying something, you got a bill, please make sure you check the bill properly, thoroughly, okay, and you calculate the tax without a calculator and check is there any error or not. Are you calculating it enough within the time? उसके दो फायदे हैं. एक तो डेफिनेटली आपकी कैलकुलेशन इम्प्रूव होगी, जो कि कैट में बेनिफिट डेफिनेटली करेगी. दूसरा बेनिफिट ये भी होगा कि कहीं ना कहीं अगर बिल में कोई गड़बड़ हुई तो कैन सेव योर मनी, राइट. ठीक है, इट हैपेंड विद मी वंस और ट्वाइस एंड आई गॉट द एडवांटेज टू. एंड देन परसेंटेज कैलकुलेशन रहेंगी, उसके बारे में भी हम एक दो क्वेश्चन में बात करेंगे. वोकैबुलरी यस डेफिनेटली ऑलरेडी बीन शेयर विद यू. एंड कुछ पजल्स वगैरह सॉल्व करो, स्पेशली सुडोकू या क्रॉसवर्ड टाइप्स. इसमें डायरेक्टली क्वेश्चन कैट में इस पे सुडोकू पे नहीं आते, लेकिन इनडायरेक्टली सुडोकू विल हेल्प यू इन डीआई सेट्स, इन एलआर सेट्स स्पेशली, टू मतलब टू हैव अ बेटर होल्ड. उसमें मतलब आपका यू विल हैव अ बेटर होल्ड टू कॉम्प्रीहेंड द थिंग्स. सो वो बहुत जरूरी है. फाइन. सो मतलब रिलेटेड टू पजल्स, एनालिटिकल थिंग्स, रीजनिंग थिंग्स, कुछ ना कुछ स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. We will definitely help in that. More things will be provided by us definitely. And this is the broad, more more like subtopics are given in this for the QA syllabus. We have already talked about numbers, then divisibility, percentages. So these are the topics which are important as well as easy as compared to the other ones. So we'll start with these first, so that इसका weightage भी अच्छा questions आएगा. ठीक है. It may vary, but on an average, yes, this could be the pattern, or this could be the quant-wise topics that are more relevant and more important. So we'll start with these, then we'll cover these, and then finally we'll cover these. These are the higher ones. because इसका reason भी है क्योंकि ये question mostly solve हो जाते हैं. डिफिकल्ट है या अदर्स वाले जो चैप्टर होते हैं उसके क्वेश्चंस कई बार अगर आप मतलब आपने अच्छे से पढ़ा भी हुआ है तो भी कई बार वहाँ पे लेवल ऑफ डिफिकल्टी इतनी होती है कि उस ऑन द लाइक डे जो प्रेशर होता है तो विद इन द टाइम लिमिट 2-3 मिनट्स में सॉल्व करना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. To have a better view, to check the topics in different manner, you can have the screenshot of the same if you want. Moving. These are the DI type questions. Again, DILR में as such कोई defined नहीं है structure. Anything and everything can come. ठीक है. Practice is the key. ये सब सिर्फ topics बनाने के लिए है, but practice is the key. If you see and CAT 2018 में chess के ऊपर chess game है, तो उसके ऊपर question आ गया था. And you never know next time आपको तंबोला के ऊपर question आ जाए. So अगर आपको ये सब आपके mocks में, test में questions available है, ठीक है, तो अगर आपको ये आपने प्रैक्टिस किए होंगे तो वहाँ पेपर में रिलेट करना, रिटेन करना इजी हो जाएगा, कॉम्प्रिहेंड करना इजी हो जाएगा. दैट्स द बेनिफिट ऑफ प्रैक्टिसिंग एंड प्रैक्टिसिंग अर्ली. बिकॉज अगेन आई एम सेइंग TILR इज वन ऑफ द टफेस्ट सेक्शन इन कैट एंड उसमें अनप्रिडिक्टेबिलिटी सबसे ज्यादा है. उसमें कोई ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर डिफाइन नहीं है टेक्निकली क्या आएगा क्या नहीं आएगा, एक्सेप्ट फ्रॉम वेन डायग्राम और some binary logic. बाकी सब टॉपिक्स रैंडम है, कुछ भी आ सकता है उसमें, एनीथिंग. तो उसको समझने के लिए जितने डिफरेंट तरह के सेट किए होंगे, डिफरेंट प्रैक्टिस की होगी, ठीक है, उतना ही बेटर होगा. अगेन यू वांट टू टेक द स्क्रीनशॉट. यू मे मूविंग है. सो विल टॉक अबाउट सम क्वेश्चंस रिलेटेड टू QA DI. किस तरह के कैट में आ सकते हैं या आते हैं, या व्हाट इज हेल्पफुल. When it comes to QA, I always say there are 4 parts to solve a question, to comprehend a question. One is the language of the question. कि क्वेश्चन भाई कहना क्या चाह रहा है, पढ़ के समझ नहीं आता कई बार. मैथमेटिकल लैंग्वेज स्पेशली विच आर फ्रॉम नॉन मैथ बैकग्राउंड्स, उनको थोड़ा लगता है कॉम्प्रीहेंड करना मुश्किल होता है. सो वो समझना है सबसे पहले. ठीक है. देन सेकेंड थिंग जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है वो है कंसेप्ट्स. कि पाइथागोरस थ्योरम होती क्या है, ठीक है, या ऑल्टरनेट सेगमेंट थ्योरम होती क्या है व्हेन इट कम्स टू ज्योमेट्री. या फिर हम क्या कहते हैं, अगर हम सेम इंटरेस्ट पे कर रहे हैं, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट एंड सिंपल इंटरेस्ट, व्हाट इज द इंस्टॉलमेंट केस. सो ये सब कॉन्सेप्ट्स कई पढ़े होते हैं आपने. ठीक है. एचसीएफ ऑफ द फ्रैक्शन, एचसीएफ एलसीएम ऑफ द फ्रैक्शंस, नॉर्मल एचसीएफ एलसीएम लेना आता है, फ्रैक्शन में कई बार पता नहीं है क्योंकि वो पढ़ा नहीं है हमने अपनी जूनियर क्लास में। तो वो सारे कंसेप्ट्स गो थ्रू होना बहुत ज़रूरी है। देन अप्रोच। अप्रोच मीन्स कि भाई पता तो लग गया कि ये लैंग्वेज समझ आया, कंसेप्ट भी ये लगना है, लेकिन स्टार्ट कहाँ से करूँ, मुझे रीच कहाँ पे होना है, क्या करना है, निकालना कैसे। अप्रोच समझने के लिए यू हैव टू ट्राई वेराइटी ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस। एक क्वेश्चन को जब हम 3-4 टाइम्स प्रैक्टिस कर लेंगे तो जाके वो विद इन 2-3 मिनट्स सॉल्व होगा, बिकॉज वहाँ पे सिमिलर मैनर के क्वेश्चन आएंगे, सेम क्वेश्चन नहीं आएंगे। लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, कैलकुलेशंस, विच इज अ इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट। ऑल्दो कैलकुलेटर अवेलेबल है, लेकिन आप देखोगे कैलकुलेटर आपका, समवन इज राइटली सेड योर कैलकुलेटर इज एज स्मार्ट एज यू आर, राइट। तो आप अगर कैलकुलेटर को यूटिलाइज कैसे करते हैं, एंड मोर ओवर टाइपिंग ऑनलाइन की, पेपर ऑनलाइन होना है, ऑनलाइन टाइपिंग एक एक की करना, और एक भी गलती होगी दोबारा से टाइप करना इज वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट। तो कैलकुलेशन जितनी स्ट्रांग होगी उतना ही आपको क्लैरिटी होगी क्वेश्चन में। अगर आप डरोगे नहीं कैलकुलेशन से तो क्वेश्चन में जो वैल्यूज भी होंगी आपको उसमें फियर नहीं होगा। सो ये पूरे पूरे क्वेश्चन में किसी में कुछ पार्ट हो सकता है मिसिंग, किसी में कुछ पार्ट मिसिंग हो सकता है, वो पूरा का पूरा कंप्लीट कैसे करना है क्वेश्चन में, वो कॉम्प्रिहेंड कैसे करना है, वो चीज़ें वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, वी हैव टू लर्न फ्रॉम द स्क्रैच, फ्रॉम द बेसिक्स। कि जहाँ पे मिसकंसेप्शंस हैं या यहाँ पे जनरल हम चीज़ें जनरलिटी कर लेते हैं कि हाँ ये ऐसे होता है ऐसे होता है, बट वो यहाँ पे एक्सेप्शन आ गई, सो वो उन एक्सेप्शंस को कैसे गो थ्रू होना है, दैट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड। So saying that, let's try a question. Okay. Okay. This is somewhat similar to ZAT 2017 or 16. I'm not sure. 2017 का question है ये. Try this one. Again, I'm saying any query anybody having, you can share in the chat window. Let it be more discussive. अगर आपको कुछ भी पूछना है, कुछ query है till now what we have discussed, so you may share in the chat window. Okay, all clear or just all clear? That's the biggest disadvantage. You can't read the faces of the students. Okay, try answering this. So if you see, tables and calculations are very important. So if you are really looking for the preparation of CAT, tables from 1 to 20, kindly memorize them, utilize them, retain them.
So the student has answered 17.
Good. And then you have some squares that you need to memorize, like at least 1 to 30, maybe more in case you're able to. Cubes, at least 1 to 50. Prime numbers, at least 1 to 100. Okay. And then some fraction to percentage, percentage to fraction. Like 1 by 2 कितना होता है 50%, 1 by 3 कितना होता है 33.33%. So percentage chart. At least 1 to 12.
Sir, another student has answered 7, 11, 13 and 17.
Right, fine. The last number would be, can I see these chats?
So you have to exit slideshow mode.
I have to exit slideshow mode. Okay.
You have to go to the Teams and then you can see the chat. Or either you can do is like कि आप इसको थोड़ा shrink कर सकते हैं, विंडो को नैरो डाउन कर सकते हैं, तो साइड में चैट्स आपको विजिबल रहेंगी.
मैम स्लाइड शो में नहीं होगा वो, शायद वो फिर.
हाँ जी, उसके लिए स्लाइड शो एग्जिट करना पड़ेगा.
बट लेकिन आ जाएंगे ना. चलो कोई बात नहीं, आप मुझे बता देना एक तो आंसर्स, बाकी मैं.
श्योर सर.
The 17 is correct. If you see, the product of first three numbers is 1001, so you have to divide them. So So you must know the divisibility rules, how it is divisible, and we'll talk about those divisibility rules. Moreover, this 1001 is a very important number. The product of 1010 is 7 into 11 into 13, and there is a divisibility rule of 7, 11, 13 based on this. Like if I say 786, 786, this is a number. Is it divisible by 7? Like this was a question actually. A, B, C is the actual CAT question. A, B, C. ठीक है 2003 या 4 में आया था. It is divisible by 7. It is divisible by 77. It is divisible by 143. It is divisible by all of above. ABC, where ABC are the digits. ठीक है ये number था. So is it divisible by 7? It is divisible by 77. It is divisible by 143. It is divisible by all of the above. So if you see, if I take ABC common out of this, what I left with is 1 and then 001. So basically 1001 को अगर आप ABC से multiply करोगे, ठीक है, a number like this, it will always be in the form ABC. And 1001 अगर उसके आप factors बनाओगे जो कि आप याद रखो तो बहुत ही अच्छा है, because this could be helpful somewhere or the other. So 7 into 11 into 13. So this number is actually divisible by 7 also, this number is divisible by 11 also, this number is divisible by 13 also, and the product of the same. Taken 2 at a time, taken 3 at a time. Similarly, likewise, अगर आप इनका 2, 4, 3, 1 करेंगे तो prime numbers है तो next prime numbers check कर सकते हैं, because there are 2 prime numbers common among those, right? 11 and 13 could be those, ठीक है, and then 17 जो है क्योंकि ये बड़ी value है definitely, तो 17 could be the last one. So 17 is the correct answer. So again I'm saying अगर आपको tables पता है, prime numbers पता है and थोड़ी practice की हुई है तो ऐसे questions challenging नहीं रहेंगे, जो कि मे बी अदरवाइज वैल्यूज की वजह से या लैंग्वेज की वजह से रीजन हो सकता है कि आपको कॉम्प्रिहेंड करने में टाइम लग जाए. सो हमारा एक चैलेंज यही नहीं है कि हमें क्वेश्चन नोहा होनी चाहिए, हमारा ये भी चैलेंज है कि वो उसको स्पीड एंड एक्यूरेसी से किया जाए. दैट इज ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट. ओके, ट्राई अनदर वन. व्हाट मिनिमम मस्ट बी एडेड सब्ट्रैक्टेड फ्रॉम 280 to divide them into equal rows and columns? What minimum must be added or subtracted in from 280 to divide them into equal rows and columns? So what actually we need, what actually we require to find is?
Sir, a student answered 9.
Right. So 9 should be added. So what I actually need is equal rows and columns. That means I need a square. Correct? अगर मैं equal rows and columns में है तो वो square ही होगा ना, तभी वो possible है. Correct? So मुझे इसमें इसको square बनाना है. अब square बनाने के लिए मुझे check करना पड़ेगा कि कहाँ से value कहाँ तक है, like ये किस square में lie कर रहा है. तो अगर मुझे squares 1 से लेके 30 तक याद होंगे at least, तो मैं what I have seen is कि इतने level तक की values होती हैं. ठीक है, तो अगर मुझे ये याद होंगे तो मेरे लिए comprehend करना again बहुत easy हो जाएगा, solve करना easy हो जाएगा. So if I see कि मुझे पता होना चाहिए कि भाई 16 का स्क्वायर जो होता है वो 256 होता है and 17 का स्क्वायर जो होता है वो 289 होता है. That means ये 280 है, that means 9 ऐड होगा, या क्योंकि अदरवाइज आप चेक करते रह जाओगे कि कौन सी वैल्यू है, कहाँ स्क्वायर आ रहा है, एंड स्क्वायर रूट माइंडेड अगर वो स्क्वायर नहीं है, फैक्टर्स बना नहीं पाएंगे तो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा उसका स्क्वायर रूट निकालना. So memorize. The purpose of this question is only कि आपको अंडरस्टैंड हो. डेफिनेटली आपके स्क्वायर्स याद होंगे तो नॉट ओनली योर नंबर्स में, आपके ज्योमेट्री में, पाइथागोरस ट्रिपलेट्स के फॉर्म में, या आपके टाइम एंड वर्क के क्वेश्चंस में, हर जगह वो बहुत हेल्पफुल होगा. कैलकुलेशंस, अगेन आई एम सेइंग, ऑल्दो कैलकुलेटर अवेलेबल है, लेकिन चीज़ों को कॉम्प्रिहेंड करने के लिए जब तक आप ये चीज़ें नहीं करेंगे, आपको फिर भी कैलकुलेटर पे डिपेंडेंट होकर चीज़ें सॉल्व नहीं होंगी. मेनी पॉसिबिलिटीज, मेनी क्वेश्चंस जहाँ पे आपकी हेल्प आप खुद ही कर पाओगे. So make sure start doing these, start applying these things. Okay, so these are a few questions we're going to discuss related to quant and then somewhat to DLR, which are not conceptual based. So I'm keeping the concept abhi ki side ke liye. These are more of logical based, reasoning based, and calculation maybe. So right now we are not talking about technical things. We are not talking about concepts. We will talk about when we'll start with the topics one by one. Okay. But right now we are talking about the journal's essence of what CAT is testing you, what are the logics behind it, what are the reasoning behind it. Try this one. Easy one. Ishan, how much time more we have?
It was scheduled till 12:15, so we can wind up in next 10-15 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Accordingly, I will, put my questions forward.
The
Thank
students
you.
have answered 192.
Correct. Good. So if you see, the logic behind this, you have to count the digits. So as I told you, it's just a basic question. You need a clarity, you need understanding. So from you have to divide them into three parts. Single digit numbers 1 to 9. Okay, one digit number जो कि 9 होंगे. And then we have a two digit number from 10 to 99. And mind you, this is a partial question. This is not a complete question. This is just to start with. इसमें और एडिशन सब्ट्रैक्शन भी होंगी, कुछ eliminate किए जाएंगे केसेस, कुछ 3 से divisible होंगे, 5 से divisible होंगे, वो check किया जाएगा. To begin with, what you need to understand is that two-digit numbers, they are making of two digits, so 10 into 99, and 99 से 10 कितने होते हैं? तो 99 से minus 10, तो ये 89 नहीं होते हैं, plus 1 होता है, because both are inclusive. अगर मैं आपसे बोलूँ 1 से लेके 10 तक कितने numbers हैं? So 1 से लेके 10 तक 10 minus 1 9 नहीं है, plus 1 भी है. Why? Both are inclusive. When both are inclusive, you have to add 1. Basic thing. ठीक है? So ये total 90 होंगे. 90 into 2 180 digits ये देगा आपको from 10 to 99. Agree? And then 3 digit number में 100 होंगे, which is 3 digit numbers. So total अगर आप इनको add कर देंगे, total 192 digits you're going to get. So to start with, these are the few things that you need to take care कि आप start सही से करो, कहीं पे कुछ मतलब कोई भी वैल्यू में गड़बड़ नहीं होनी चाहिए. क्लैरिटी बहुत ज़रूरी है. स्क्रैच से, बेसिक से, कहीं पे भी इधर उधर हुआ आंसर में वेरी, ठीक है, चेंज हो सकता है कुछ. एंड फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट थिंग कॉम्प्रीहेंड करना वो तो बहुत ज़रूरी है. ये ट्राई दिस वन. दिस इज अ गुड वन. दिस कैन बी अ क्वेश्चन जो आपको ऐसा सिमिलर क्वेश्चन एक कैट में आ चुका है. ऐसा सिमिलर क्वेश्चन कैट में आ चुका है. पार्ट ऑफ योर प्रैक्टिस एक्सरसाइज ऑल्सो. So read it out, take a minute or two, try to answer. And those who are not able to understand or not able to answer at least, ठीक है, you can ask any query you have. आप कोई भी कुछ भी पूछना चाह रहे हो तो you may. So what we have is 200 rupees थे जिनकी denominations दे दी हुई हैं, and using at least one of note of each kind. तो एक एटलीस्ट एक एक नोट तो यूज करेंगे. एक 2 रुपए का नोट, एक 5 रुपए का, एक 10 रुपीज का, एंड 25 गोइंग टू यूज एटलीस्ट वन ऑफ ईच. सो देन विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कुड बी द नंबर ऑफ नोट्स यूज? इनमें से कौन सा हो सकता है? अब कुड वर्सेस मस्ट ये पता होना चाहिए. अगेन स्मॉल स्मॉल पार्ट ऑफ द लैंग्वेज. कुड का मतलब पॉसिबिलिटी कि दिस इज पॉसिबल. देयर कुड बी अदर पॉसिबिलिटीज ऑल्सो. मस्ट का मतलब होगा ही होगा, सिंगल ओनली पॉसिबिलिटी, इसके अलावा कुछ और नहीं होगा. ठीक है, सो दैट इज द डिफरेंस. सो एक एक नोट तो यूज करना ही करना है. सो एक एक कर लेते हैं. 2 रुपीज प्लस 5 रुपीज प्लस 10 रुपीज प्लस 25 रुपीज 30, कितने रुपये? 42 रुपीज. तो हमने ऑलरेडी यूज कर लिए वन ऑफ ईच काइंड. तो 4 नोट्स मैं यूज कर चुका हूँ ऑलरेडी. 42 रुपीज में स्पेंड कर चुका हूँ. 200 में से रिमेनिंग कितने बचे? 158 रुपीज. अब 158 रुपीज जो है वो इनमें से कौन सी वैल्यू जो सेटिस्फाई कर सकती है? सो अगर मुझे कुड में लेके आना है, दैट मीन्स आई नीड अ वन पॉसिबिलिटी आउट ऑफ द अमंग द ऑप्शंस. दैट मीन्स rest of the options could be eliminated in some manner. So what I am going to proceed, how going to proceed? Now that is where the approach comes. that is where the practice or the you know your comprehension part कैसे comprehend करना है. So 158 में
So the
एक
student replied 11.
11 could be the possibility. Okay, let's see. 11, and that's not the answer although, but let's see. So minimum we can find how many nodes, and maximum we can find how many nodes we can use. We can do that. मिनिमम के लिए क्या करें, मिनिमम नोड यूज करने हैं तो मैक्सिमम वैल्यू वाले ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा नोड यूज करें. दैट मीन्स 25 वाले ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा यूज करें. तो अगर मैं 25 वाले ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा यूज करना चाहता हूँ और 158 बनाना चाहता हूँ तो 6 नोट ले सकता हूँ विच इज गिविंग मी ₹150 एंड रेस्ट 8 रुपीज. मुझे 5 to 1 तो नहीं हो पाएगा.
So another student replied 28.
Right, correct. 28 is the correct answer. So 150 आएगा. तो that means what we know, remaining जो notes हैं वो 4 notes हैं, हम 2 rupees के ले लेंगे. So these are the rupees, money and number of notes. So this what I'm giving is 8 rupees ये देगा, total 150 है. 6 plus 4, 4 already use हो चुके हैं. तो minimum to minimum 14 notes तो use होंगे ही होंगे. अगर मैं सारे एक एक यूज एटलीस्ट कर रहा हूँ तो मिनिमम 14 नोट्स तो यूज करने पड़ेंगे. तो दैट्स व्हाई 11 कांट बी माय आंसर अगर मुझे एटलीस्ट वन ऑफ ईच नाइट नोट करने हैं. एंड मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल है तो मैं नॉमिनेशन जो यूज करूँ वो छोटी से छोटी करूँ. दैट मीन्स मैं 2 रुपीज नोट लूँ और अगर मुझे 158 बनाना है तो इंटू 79, करेक्ट. तो 79 जो होंगे मेरे नोट्स होंगे 2 रुपीज वाले, मेकिंग इट ₹158. तो 78 नोट्स ये हो गए, 4 ये हो गए. तो मैक्सिमम नोट्स आई कैन यूज इज 83. 83 से ज्यादा नोट्स मैं यूज नहीं कर सकता. That means 84 and 99 also get eliminated. So the only possibility I have is this could be. You need not to make the combination if not asked. ठीक है कितने कितने का स्पेसिफिक है वो निकाल सकते हैं हम वैल्यूज लेके पॉसिबिलिटी की 28 नोट्स कैसे बनेंगे. लेकिन हमें इतना पता लग गया कि वो मिनिमम 14 नोट्स एंड मैक्सिमम 83 नोट्स तो यूज करेगा ही करेगा. So definitely 28 notes use मतलब definitely sorry it could be the one जो 28 notes वो use कर सकता है because it must lie between 14 notes to 83 notes both inclusive. जिसके ऊपर और बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, कॉम्बिनेशंस हैं, ऑड इवन के रूल्स हैं जो हमने डिस्कस करने हैं. This could be a like as I already mentioned मिनिमम एक्स का क्वेश्चन है इजीली कॉम्प्रीहेंड नहीं होता अगर हमने पहले एक बार इसको प्रैक्टिस ना किया हो, इसको गो थ्रू ना हो. So I hope you getting the point. Okay. This is the possibility. Okay, let's just get to the DI part. So this is the last thing we're going to cover. Don't worry. ठीक है. So DI में क्या होता है? DI में बहुत सारी चीजें हैं इन्वॉल्व हैं. From lines, angle charts, pie charts, bar charts. Then there are some types of diagrams. Plotting होती है, triangular bar graphs हैं. उसमें से one of the things is pie charts. And this is like I've seen almost every CAT exam in either one of the slots. ये DI के pie chart पे एक आधा क्वेश्चन होता ही होता है. एक तो क्वेश्चन आता ही आता है मोस्ट. एंड इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा वेरिएशंस भी नहीं है पाई चार्ट में अगर हम थोड़ा सा उसको अच्छे से समझ लें. कैलकुलेशन कैन बी द वन ऑफ द चैलेंज बट अदरवाइज इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा वेरिएशन नहीं है पाई चार्ट में फॉर्म करने के लिए. तो ये क्वेश्चन मोस्ट लाइकली डुएबल होता है, सॉल्वेबल होता है इन अगर हम उसको कैट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखें. सो लेट अस स्टार्ट व्हाट हैव बीन गिवन हियर. द चार्ट शोज द रिजल्ट ऑफ ए सर्वे कंडक्टेड 21835 MBS. तो ये आपको दिए हैं 21853 MBS who passed out from top 50 B schools in 2007. तो 2007 में टॉप 50 B schools में इतने MBS पास हुए हैं. उनमें फर्दर उन्होंने क्या दिया हुआ उनका द फर्स्ट चार्ट शोज द परसेंटेज ब्रेकअप ऑफ द टोटल रिस्पॉन्डेंट. सो अगर आप इनको ऐड करोगे 100% बनेगा. सो द 100% ऑफ द रिस्पॉन्डेंट इज 21853 जिसमें से 19% आर फ्रॉम सिस्टम्स, HR से 24% है, ऑपरेशन से 11% है, मार्केटिंग से 20%, फाइनेंस से 10% एंड स्ट्रेटजी से 60%. So these are the number of MPs. And then this is a remuneration कि कितना उनको सैलरी पैकेज जो भी है remuneration मिल रही है. उसका टोटल ब्रेकअप भी दिया हुआ है अगेन परसेंटेज वाइज. एंड द टोटल वैल्यू इज गिवन एज rupees 2622 million per month. All the people, there's 21853 from the top B20 B schools. So it may vary with the average one, but this is how it's been given. So अगर आप month wise मतलब system wise specialization wise अगर आप calculate करना चाह रहे हो, so we can calculate that. Systems के लिए 18% है, fine, तो 18% of this आ जाएगा per month. HR के लिए operations, marketing and so on. So all in all, I hope the charts are clear. First one is number and the second one is remuneration in rupees per month, million per month. And make sure every value is important, million per month, units, that we need to take care. While doing quant and DLR, units का पूरा ध्यान रखना है. You will see एक दो क्वेश्चन पेपर में इस तरह भी सॉल्व हो सकता है कि आपने यूनिट्स का ध्यान रखा, किसको किससे डिवाइड करना है वैल्यू से, उससे क्लियर हो गया, होता है. ठीक है, let's see question related to them. So यहाँ पे calculations definitely they are calculation intensive. इसको कैसे हम ease out कर सकते हैं वो देखेंगे. Approximately how many MBAs who graduate in 2007 are currently working in system? कितने MBAs हैं तो जो 2007 में हैं? So the total value we will given is 21853. 21853. उसमें से कितने आपके सिस्टम से? सिस्टम से कितने हैं? Anybody like to answer? Avoid using your calculator. Please don't use your calculator. Calculator कहाँ पे काम आएगा वो भी बात करेंगे. Don't worry about that. But make sure avoid using it. जब टेस्टिंग करेंगे, जब एक्चुअल जो इंटरफेस होगा, जब हम मॉक्स देंगे, उसमें कैलकुलेटर आएगा, तो वहाँ पे कैसे उसको यूटिलाइज करना है, ठीक है, और विदाउट वेस्टिंग टाइम, वो उसके बारे में भी बात करेंगे. इवन आई एम गोइंग टू टीच यू हाउ टू यू फाइंड रिमाइंडर्स यूजिंग कैलकुलेटर्स. ठीक है, how to find remainders using calculators is a technique to that. So वो भी हम learn करेंगे. लेकिन अभी के लिए please avoid calculators.
Sir, a student answered 4152.
Correct. So if you see, अगर मुझे 19% निकालना है, rather than actually multiplying with the 19, can I say the systems will be 20% of this value 21853 minus 1% of this value 21853, which will give you the same value, right? 20 minus 1 is, why I am doing this, because 1% निकालना, 5% निकालना, 10% निकालना, 20% निकालना, 50% निकालना, these are easy. 5% निकालना है, 10% निकालना है, शिफ्ट कर दो एक डेसिमल, easy to calculate. उसमें से माइनस कर दे, ऐड कर दे. एंड एडिशन एंड सब्ट्रैक्शन आर डेफिनेटली बेटर देन मल्टीप्लिकेशन एनी डे. ठीक है, तो मुझे 19 से मल्टीप्लाई करने की बजाय अगर मैं 20 से इसको निकालूं, 10% ऑफ 21853 क्या होगा? वेरी इजी टू कैलकुलेट, 2185 अप्रोक्सीमेटली 2185. तो 20% उसका डबल हो जाएगा, राइट, डबल हो जाएगा. तो इसका डबल हो जाएगा तो कितने आए, मतलब उसको इसी में ऐड करना है वैल्यू, विच इज इजी टू कैलकुलेट. कितना आ जाएगा? 4370, करेक्ट. ये इसका डबल हो गया, तो 20% ऑफ दिस वैल्यू इज 4370. एंड उसमें से हमें 1% निकालना है. 1% मतलब 21853 का 1% कितना हुआ? 218. एंड वी नीड टू सब्ट्रैक्ट दैट. तो 4370 में से अगर मैं 218 माइनस करूंगा तो अप्रोक्सीमेटली, और विच एक्चुअली गेटिंग यू 4152. कैन सी दैट. सो दिस इज हाउ वी गोइंग टू ईज आवर कैलकुलेशंस. हम चीज़ों को 10, 20, 50% की फॉर्म में ले लेंगे एंड रिमेनिंग वैल्यू उसके अकॉर्डिंगली कैलकुलेट. अगर इसी तरह मुझे स्ट्रेटजी के लिए 16% है, वो वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करनी होती ऑफ दिस वैल्यू, तो मैं क्या करता, मैं 10% निकालूं, 5% निकालूं, 1% निकालूं. 10% क्या होगा? 2185. 5% क्या होगा? उसी का हाफ. ठीक है, हाफ हो जाएगा अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 100 जो भी आएगी वैल्यू. एंड देन 1% 289 एंड उसको ऐड कर लो. तो रादर देन मैंने 16 को मल्टीप्लाई किया, मैंने उसको एडिशन में चेंज कर लिया अपनी प्रॉब्लम को. एंड मैं आंसर ऑप्शन मेरी बहुत ज़्यादा क्लोज नहीं होती है. ठीक है, इफ यू सी, because again I'm saying the purpose of CAT is not to check how good you are as a calculator या आपकी कैलकुलेशन कितनी स्ट्रांग है. उसके लिए कैलकुलेटर है हमेशा प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में. द पर्पस इज आप एस्टिमेट कितना बेटर कर सकते हो, ठीक है, आप प्रोजेक्ट कितना अच्छा कर सकते हो चीज़ों को, ताकि आपकी जो स्टडी है या आपकी जो बेसिस है, आपकी प्रिडिक्टेबिलिटी है, फोरकास्टिंग है, वो अच्छी बेटर हो सके. वो चेक कर रहा है, वो टेस्ट कर रहा है. एंड द बेस्ट वे मैनर टू टेस्ट इज जो सभी के लिए कॉमन हो. दैट मीन्स क्या कहते हैं 10th लेवल तक स्टडी. ये नहीं कि हाँ किसी स्ट्रीम से टेक्निकली चीजें पूछ रहा है. So approach is very important, and we're going to learn different approaches for different questions in different we're having different topics. कि जितना प्रैक्टिस की होगी, जितनी डिफरेंट अप्रोचेस देखी होंगी, जितनी चीज़ें की होंगी कवर, उतना ही आपका देखोगे आप कॉम्प्रिहेंड बेटर कर पाओगे, रिलेट बेटर कर पाओगे, उस चीज़ों को स्पीड एंड एक्यूरेसी से कर पाओगे. मूविंग अहेड, एक क्वेश्चन और देखेंगे. So if the above data is representative, which field of specialization offer the highest average salary package? कौन सा इनमें से होगा जो हाईएस्ट सैलरी पैकेज देगा? सो इसके लिए आपको एवरेज सभी का निकालने की जरूरत नहीं है, हमें कंपैरिजन करना है. हमें कंपैरिजन करना है. तो कॉमन फैक्टर जो है उसको हम इग्नोर कर सकते हैं जब हमें कंपैरिजन करना हो, बिकॉज हमें हाईएस्ट लोएस्ट देखना है. तो इफ यू सी एचआर के लिए मुझे निकालना होगा अगर एवरेज, सो व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू इज, जो भी इसकी वैल्यू होगी 2262 भी मिलियन है रुपीज है, उसका एचआर कितना है 23%. सो 23% ऑफ सम वैल्यू divided by, why dividing, because average पूछा है, average is always total divided by number, average is always total divided by number. I hope ये तो सभी को पता ही होगा. divided by जो भी हमारी वैल्यू थी उसका HR कितना है 24%. and this factor is common among every value. what you need to actually compare is this value, these values, 23 by 24. this is for HR. फाइनेंस के लिए कितना होगा 13 by 10. बाकी रेस्ट ऑफ द वैल्यू इज कॉमन. सिस्टम्स के लिए कितना होगा 18 by 19. रेस्ट एवरीथिंग इज कॉमन. मार्केटिंग के लिए कितना होगा 20 by 20. रेस्ट एवरीथिंग इज कॉमन. सो व्हाट यू नीड टू डू इज जस्ट टू हैव टू कंपेयर फोर फ्रैक्शंस, एंड डेफिनेटली दिस इज लेस देन 1, दिस इज लेस देन 1, दिस इज इक्वल टू 1, एंड दिस इज मोर देन 1 विद 1.3. सो हाईएस्ट यही होगा. नो नीड टू कैलकुलेट द थिंग्स. एंड ये चीज़ किस मैनर में ये चीज़ों को देखना, अप्रोच करना, अंडरस्टैंड करना, उसी की प्रैक्टिस है. एंड थिंग्स डेफिनेटली जो आपको टफ लग रही होंगी या हार्ड लग रही होंगी वो इजी मीडियम हो जाएंगी, और जो मीडियम लग रही होंगी वो इजी हो जाएंगी. सो इसका सबसे हाईएस्ट सैलरी पैकेज सबसे ज़्यादा होगा. Likewise, we're going to cover LR topics, we're going to cover other questions, previous year CAT questions. So to understand what type of technical concepts are involved in quant, LR, DI, and obviously verbal.
Sir, sorry for the interruption, but the break of students have already started at 12:40 and they have the next lecture scheduled at 1:10. So we may not be able to stretch it more.
I'm ending it.
Okay, thank you.
So वो उश्लीन की वीडियो चला दीजिएगा.
So that's what is there from my side. Last but not the least, this is your student.
So this is Ushleen Kaur. She is a 2015 CAT student. So one of the few ones who went into IIM. Now she later transferred to IIM Indore, not IIM Shillong. That was her initial admission. She then went on to Indore. So just listen to her.
I am a BCom Honors in Finance graduate from Shri Aurobindo College, and I scored 92.95 percentile in CAT, and I am going to join IIM Shillong. So my journey started with IMS in second year, and before joining the institute, I consulted many people, and all of them recommended IMS. The people who had joined other institutes were not satisfied with the results or with the coaching. So when I joined IMS, I had a wonderful experience. We started from the basics in classes, and then we moved on to CAT level and other higher level in workshops and SimCATs. And the whole journey is a little daunting because we scored many a times we scored 70 percentile, 80 percentile, but then we wanted to target the higher institutes or the top-notch institutes. And I would like to tell you that the whole institute supported us. They motivated us at every level, that yes, you can do it, just go on doing whatever we tell you, and follow their advices, and they are always there to support you anytime. Then we had one-to-one counseling sessions, one-to-one doubt sessions, and each child was individually told how you are required to proceed, what are your strengths and weaknesses, and what you need to focus on. And then comes the most dreaded part, and that is GDPI process. And like many other students, I was not very well read person. I did not have a habit of reading newspapers regularly, but we had workshops that lasted for entire day from morning till evenings, and we covered so many topics that there was virtually nothing left that was not known to us, that we did not know or we could not talk about. So, and all of that really helped in interviews, and majority of the questions that were asked in interviews were all from our discussions. Before my IIM Shillong interview, we sat
Okay. What happened?
that whole day from evening till around 9 o'clock at night, and we discussed GK, we discussed all the latest topics, the questions about finance and accounting, and every question that they asked me in interview was all that we had discussed. And what happened was a chance factor, that I left my IMS notes register inside the interview with the interview panel somehow accidentally, and they went through that and they asked me, Shlin, you've prepared a lot. I said, yes sir. And they said, good work done. So all that was the hard work of IMS team and the students put in together. We had presentations, and all of that helped us to boost our personality and our confidence. And we went in the interview and we were so calm in there, and we could see that the other students, they were continuously reading, but we were so well prepared that we did not have to read just the moment before. And the same happened before CAT. One day before CAT, we had all of us, we had closed our books and we sat in IMS cracking jokes with the teachers, and they were motivating us, chill, you're going to rock. And that is what happened. And they told us that don't worry if the paper is difficult or one of the sections is difficult, because whatever happens happens to all. So go, you have prepared your best and you are going to do it. And yes, we did it. And if I can do it, so can you, because with a commerce background, with a percentile that is not so high, to crack an IIM is not a small task. And if I can do it, I assure you can do it. You just need to put in your best efforts, and the IMS faculty ensures that they guide you at every step. They tell you what is right and you just have to follow them. And I had a wonderful experience with the IMS family, and so will you.
Thank you. So, any doubts you have? These are our social platforms. This is the contact number, and these are the things. I think you can note it down.
So, if you
Okay,
have any questions, just ask us. We are, let's
we are
say,
here.
any final question.
Students, if you have any question, you can ask them. You can write it in chat box.
The connection got lost. Yes.
Okay.
And
Okay. Yeah. So thank you everyone for a wonderful session. We just extended because of some glitch on my side, so apologize for that. But then it was lovely interacting with you. We hope both of us that we cleared lot of doubts about cat. You are more comfortable with it, and you will, let's say, take a rational decision. And whatever cat you are targeting 21, 22, you will join. You will, let's say, start your preparation as soon as possible, so that you can build a strong base and practice a lot, and hopefully crack IIMs within, and we have more achievers from our window as we had in the past.
Ditto from my side.
Okay, so students, they've also provided you with their contact details. So in case you have any doubts or any queries or you want to contact them, you can use the same. Um, Thank you, Rahul sir. Thank you, Rohit sir. It was such an enlightening session. I'm definitely sure about this thing that students have a more clarity about what actually the CAT is, and generally the perception that students hold that it is going to be a very tough competitive exam and whether we'll be able to crack it or not. So they have a much more clarity about what is the pattern and how the questions will be there, and whether they what kind of practice they would be needing, and whether they would have the aptitude to clear that particular exam or not. So, thank you so much on behalf of Shri Aurobindo College of Commerce and Management and
Thank
the
you.
students as well for such an enlightening session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
We can leave, right?